Nick Sirianni said he was sorry. Welcome to the Eagles Checkdown right here on the Eagles Pinpool Podcast Network. I am Phil Stifel, bringing you the fastest 10-minute or less Eagles podcast there is every single day. News, notes, and opinions. Today, Tuesday, October 15th, we are recapping Monday's day after the game press conference from Nick Sirianni. We're going to go over some of the injuries from Sunday's game, get some updates on them, and other opinions and thoughts from the game as we've kind of moved on a little bit and we're not quite as overreactionary as we were on Monday morning. First and foremost, obviously, Nick Sirianni started out his press conference apologizing for his actions on the field after the game, plus his way he reacted to the questions in the press conference post-game. And he did basically say he is sorry. The negative reaction, he's trying to bring the energy. He is sorry and disappointed at how he directed his energy and has to be better. We have the best fans in the world, he said, and he's got to do a better job of that. All his energy should be all in on coaching, not on his reactionary measures with the fans and how they acted in the game. Honestly, the media did a really good job with the questions that they put forth on Monday in the press conference, because there were a lot of follow-ups to this, and why did he change on his reaction from the way he reacted to the fans on Sunday night to the way he reacting to them now. And he said it was just like looking back on bad play calls or evaluating players' performances. He evaluated the way he reacted, and he knows he was wrong. So some of his questions were good. He was asked by several reporters, whether he spoke with Jeffrey Lurie or Howie Roseman, about the way he acted. And in typical Nick Sirianni fashion, he pretty much just bypassed it and moved on. He had some good answers to questions in his press conference today on Monday, but a lot of them were typical bad answers from him. Two things. I want to quote two people: Rob Longy from Party on Broad and Ross Tucker, obviously, who calls a lot of football games. And we have to. And they both said similar things, basically that it's time to move past his this whole situation, accept his apology, and move on, including the Eagles. But winning cures all. So if they come out next week and win easily, handle business well, don't leave anything on the table for us to be, as fans and media, to be disappointed in, then all should be okay. Let's move on to some of these injuries. First and foremost, he doesn't normally give us much on the injuries, especially ones that are, not super serious, because he doesn't want to reveal his hand. But he was very open about Jordan Mailata's hamstring injury and expects it to be at least a couple of weeks. It's too early in the process to know how long, but there is definitely an issue. But he was asked about maybe moving Mekhi Becton over to left tackle, which is what he was drafted as a first-round pick a few years ago as the Jets to play. Didn't have success with the Jets, but had a lot of success this year on the Eagles at right guard playing. So that is on the table. He said there's a lot of options on the table. But he did compliment Howie Roseman, and I want to compliment Howie Roseman because there is a very, very strong offensive line depth right now on this team, and there's a lot of different options for them. Please, Eagles fans, do not. I saw already one Eagles fan on social media bringing up the idea of bringing Jason Peters back. He's on, I forget whose practice squad, but he is on a practice squad. Let's not go that route again. Please, please, please. I beg you, let's not do that. The other injuries from the game, Dallas Goedert and Darius Slay, looking at my notes here, he has no information on them. It's up in the air still, which leads me to believe that those injuries weren't as serious. Doesn't want to leave any room or anything there. So still evaluating Dallas Goedert and Darius Slay. Honestly, Darius Slay's replacements in Isaiah Rodgers and Keely Ringo did just fine filling in, so I'm not too concerned there about that. Dallas Goedert obviously is an issue, A, because he is injured often, but B, because he is such a big part of the offense, whether he's getting the touches or not. Grant Calcaterra had a nice game filling in for him, but you really need Dallas Goedert out there to keep the middle of the field occupied so that A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith can be getting the wide open looks that they get to help with the blocking, because Grant Calcaterra obviously is not a very good blocking tight end either. Some other random thoughts. He was asked about the offense's slow starts, and he had a really bad answer. He just basically said there's no magic answer. He's got to put guys in a position to succeed. The guys have to succeed. We'll try new formulas. Obviously, a very weak answer from him. He was asked about the fact that he brought up that he's getting involved in defensive play calling. He didn't really even have an answer. He just kind of deflected and moved on. When asked why they got 5 sacks on Sunday, when they had 6 sacks the first 4 weeks combined, it's just how the game goes. So annoying. He was asked about by Frank Martin of the Martin Frank of the Delaware News Show about Cooper DeJean's great first game as a starter. And like I said, he did have some moments where he can be better, but it was a great first game as a starter. He brings a lot of youth and energy to the field, and he showed up really big. Little side note stats: Quinion Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, the 2 young studs, were targeted a combined 7 times in the game by Deshaun Watson and company. They gave up a combined only 2 catches for 24 yards, a passer rating of 56.2. So the young guys definitely showed up and showed out. Nick Sirianni was asked why the lowest play action rate on Sunday in the entire Nick Sirianni era, and he just gave another weak answer of different games, different things. Look, Nick Sirianni's not getting fired. I know Eagles fans want to hear that. Some of them do, some of them don't. He is here to stay, so we're going to continue getting these very vague answers on things. He did talk about special teams and obviously the block punt or the block field goal, but there's always one bad play each week, and they're always very good except for those one plays, and they got to clean it up. I don't think enough's been made about how bad or how big of a deal that block kick was, and it could have really set the tone to really change things in the game. Also was asked about the fewest pre-snap motions or fewer pre-snap motions, and they're going down. He's like, each team is different. He said that they ran a lot of tempo, which I did notice, and that takes away from pre-snap motion. I'm not sure if that's really true or not. And he was also asked about the Jalen not thrown over the middle much at all on Sunday. He says that's just what the defense was giving him. I don't know. Jalen Hurts has looked very good against the blitz this year, and that was probably Jalen Hurts is one of his best games of all time, or of this year, and going back to pretty much the Buffalo game last year. First clean game, no turnovers for Jalen Hurts. And I don't think enough said about that. Even though it was an ugly win, that was a very good performance from Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles now in games that he does not turn the football over are 11-1. So that's definitely something to look forward to and keep an eye on going forward. We'll be back tomorrow on Wednesday talking more. I'm sure we'll get the Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore press conferences out of the way, and we'll cover them. Hopefully we have a little bit more updates on Jordan Mailata and the plan moving forward with his injury. But, guys, I'm Phil Stifel, your host here at Eagles Checkdown. You can find me every morning, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. on the STT Sports Network, hosting Trending in the AM, linked below in the description of this podcast. So, guys, I greatly appreciate you guys checking it out and have your opinion shared on this and all the other Philadelphia sports topics that we talk about on a regular basis. But, again, guys, I'm Phil Stifel. This is the Eagles Checkdown, the Eagles Pinpool Podcast Network. Go Birds, and bubbles up to you.